Hi everyone, so I'm here with my mentor, Maria Perdomo. She's a faculty um, staff at Phone School Dental Hygiene, so I'm going to interview her for the mentor interview. Um, so where did you go to school and did you do an internship, like wherever that you had an interest in?
I graduated from Phones in 2007, and I did do an internship while I was still in school for my bachelor's, just as you're doing it. And I did it in the Fairfield school system with the hygienist that deals with the Fairfield school public schools. It was very interesting.
So it was more public health.
It was public health. Yep.
So did you want to do more public health or did you want to do more teaching?
I enjoy teaching. I like the one-on-one with the students and being able to, um, have some input and be able to give them some pointers based on my experience and watch them grow from, coming in with the deer in the headlights kind of look, and then knowing, when they graduate, knowing that they've learned all of this new information and that they're very proficient at it.
So is that one part that you like about teaching? Like, what's your favorite part?
I think that's it. The satisfaction of being able to pretty much give back and understand because I understand where you guys are coming from, because I used to be in your place in the same school, actually not in the nice clinic, but same. I had to work on the same stress that you guys are working, and being able to bring my experience back um, to the school and to be able to teach the students and then see how much they develop throughout the time that they're here. It's very gratifying.
So is there anything that you don't like about teaching? Like, what are the downfalls?
I mean, I can't honestly think of anything in particular. I mean, I like having their variety. I'm still in private practice. So I like having the hands on portion of it. I wouldn't like to be completely just teaching, because then I feel like I lose touch with that part of it. So I like um, the two different, worlds that you can be in at the same time and still, do the whole teaching and the whole uh, nurturing of skills for the students, but then I want to still continue to develop my skills and keep up, um, with my what's the word I'm looking for?
Your clinical skills,
Yeah, keep everything like okay, we don't have to edit that part. Keep everything up to date. Like keep me up to date and my hands sweat into what the clinical world is like. So I don't
what you learned in school. Would you ever consider like the clinical aspect of teaching?
As a clinical instructor, is
Yeah.
what you mean? I mean, it's a possibility. I enjoy radiology. I like being able to have my own little corner here where I can, a little bit of a control freak, I guess. So I like to make sure that everything's done properly. I feel like when you're out on the floor, you have a variety of instructors, seeing you at different times, and so you lose a little bit of the consistency, although you get a lot of the variety of different backgrounds that people have. So that's a benefit in that aspect. I kind of like the fact that I'm, one of the two instructors here in radiology, and I'm able to keep more consistent.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe in the future. I kind of enjoyed this little corner.
So, how long have you been doing the radiology?
I think this is my third year.
Your third year? How did you achieve it? Was it because you like went to school here and they kind of like knew?
Well, when I graduated, I graduated. I did very well. Graduated first in my class, and they kept an interest. It kept like a little seed there so every time I saw the faculty anywhere, they're like, think about it, maybe in the future it would be a good, possibility. And I had it in the back of my mind, but I felt like I wasn't prepared to jump on it if I didn't have the experience. So I went out and got the experience, and then there was a period of time where I got that little interest again, and applied for the position. I noticed there was a position.
Let's see. What does the phones radiology internship allow the students to do? Is it more like observing? Like, what would you have the students do in your aspect? Like, here I'm observing and I'm like help grading and helping the students, but like, is there anything more like that you wanted us to help you with? Is there anything that you like about having a student intern?
I love having a student intern because I get, again, it's another part of teaching. So I like the fact that you're now getting to see this side of the fence, because when you're in the student part of it, then you are only focused on what your needs are and what is going on with you, but you don't realize all the work that we have to put into it and everything that goes into making everything else happen, not just for you, but for 40 other interns, for the other students that are going on at the same time. So now you get a little bit of both worlds, and you being a recent graduate, you also have the the student aspect of it to bring into this side of the equation that you can then give some input as to how we can improve and make it easier for the students to to follow through and to achieve what they need to achieve. I think it's also nice for you to be able to uh, see things in a different light now that you have a little bit more experience and that you've gone out there. And now you can, because when you're a student, all you see is what your instructors are telling you to do, what you read in the books, but you don't yet understand how all this information needs to come together in a short period of time and how it's going to relate to everything else out there in the world. But now you have a little bit of both, so now you can relate better. Um, and then you can also, having all that perspective, you can also help us pick out any weaknesses that maybe we have that we can strengthen, any processes that we can improve on to make it easier on both ends. So, and also when you're a student, again, you have so many things going on at the same time that it's hard to focus on one particular thing. But once you've accomplished all of that, and now you have time to kind of go back and dissect, for example, like you being in first year lab, being able to dissect the whole X-ray technique to kind of bring it back to basics. I think that whole concept that you can now focus on can help you improve your skill now that you've already graduated. So, yeah, I think it's all just positive. And I like having the extra hand when it's really crazy on Tuesdays because you've already, almost have trained to be able to do some of the stuff that I have to deal with.
So is there anything that you don't like? Do you ever take a lot of like work home with you? Would you rather like have that time with your family? Does it interfere with your other things going on?
Well, being part-time clinical, like in radiology, one of the nice things about it is that I don't usually have to take work home. Unless, I mean, I've had a couple of opportunities in which maybe we had, for example, interpretations that were piling up and we weren't having enough time during the day that I needed to take home and correct. But then we were able to figure out a way to make sure that happened during school time to improve the process to the point where I don't have to do that. So therefore, that has now changed. There are several times because of the volume of work that you guys have. I mean, if you think about how many requirements each of you has and what the whole process is from beginning to end, and then you multiply it by 40 whatever students that we have, that's a lot of work on this end. And there have been many opportunities in which, I may have to maybe stay a little extra to complete things or maybe my lunch not an hour but it's 50 minutes, but everything I'm able to get accomplished and done within the time that I'm supposed to be here.
So is there any pointers that I should come out with this or anything, like say if I wanted to do teaching in the future? Any like good pointers, like what you struggled with and how you like accomplished that?
When it came to this position, I think that I struggled with the same thing most people struggle when they start a new job. You're going into a new environment. even though I was a student here, a few years back. And so I didn't exactly remember every process. Plus, I knew it from the student perspective, not from the teachers or the instructor's perspective. So then I had to kind of relearn everything, and it takes a little bit of time to adjust and kind of learn what it is that you're supposed to be doing and how, and until you finally start getting into a routine, and then you can, because it's a lot going on, and you
Yeah.
have to kind of, you have a lot of balls in the air at the same time that you have to learn to juggle and manage your time efficiently. Otherwise, you end up taking work home, or you end up having to stay a lot later to try and accomplish everything. So, but I think, but I think that's true with any job when you first start, until you get the hang of it and you get familiarized with everything and the system and everything, and then it just starts getting easier, and then you can start then finding things that you can improve on to then make your time more efficient. And I think having an intern, it's a great idea, not only to help us with the volume of things, especially during the time that's getting closer to the end of the semester, but also, has a double thing where you're getting a huge benefit to be able to experience it from this end, and I think you're picking up on a lot of things that are going to be beneficial for you.
All right. Well, that concludes our interview. I hope you guys enjoyed.